Hey lady, welcome back to Emotional Mastery for Motherhood. Safe mommy, safe baby. So this holiday season, I want this to actually be the last holiday season where you put yourself in agony, you put yourself through discomfort, you disassociate yourself, all for getting along, going along, and putting yourself around family. Family members that you know have failed you, family members that you, on purpose, family members that you know were not responsible on purpose, family members that you know have watered down your truth, family members who are just going along to get along, family members who think that it is okay to sweep dust under a rug, family members who carry on like hippos. When I say hippos, I mean hypocrites. And I want this to be the last holiday season where you do this to yourself. The last Thanksgiving where you're sitting near your perpetrator. The last Thanksgiving when you're sitting with people who you'd rather not be around. The last Christmas dinner where you are facing a cold because your system needs some way of letting out all of this agony, this built up agony that you have placed inside of you, all for the sake of putting yourself around people who you know you have no business putting yourself around, but you're forcefully putting yourself around people, disobeying yourself, putting yourself in last place, all for the sake of saving face. For several different reasons, but most of it is to go along to get along and to save face and just to be a team player. When being a team player absolutely means you not prioritizing yourself, not practicing self-preservation, and in fact, putting yourself at the last on the list. I want this to be the last holiday season that you put yourself through this. There's no reason to have to dissociate. There's no reason to have to break out. There's no reason to have to catch a cold. There's no reason to have a fever blister. There's no reason to be pacing around wondering how you're going to do this. There's no reason to be in the moment, but you're not really in the moment. You have to dissociate just to sit there with people that you literally don't want to be around. You don't have to do that. In fact, you shouldn't do it. You're just going against yourself and you're confusing yourself even more. You're telling your system that it is okay to endure abuse. It is not like maximum abuse. It is acute, but it's still abuse, and you can't lie to your system. It has memories. You can't lie. So you keep putting yourself in these situations, and you're literally putting your whole self through agony. And then your body's gonna need a way to let all of that out. And it's usually never in a healthy way. And for the sake of what again? For saving face? For family? Now, I'm not saying that family isn't sacred. I'm not saying that these situations are not nuanced. They are extremely nuanced. And everyone's situation is very, very, very unique. But I say all of that to say that there is in fact a way for you to protect yourself, for you to self-prioritize, for you to practice self-preservation without burning the house down, without dismantling the system, without breaking anyone's pretty household up. There is a way to do it. There is a way to stand up for yourself. You're acting pussy, and I'm not even going to apologize for saying it because it's the word that came to mind. It's not even a punk. A punk doesn't have the ability to stand up for themselves. Use a pussy because you have the ability to stand up for yourself, but you're denying yourself your ability to stand up for yourself. And I might look back at this and I might be like, damn, you ain't have to do that. But as of right now, I'm going to stand on it. You're denying yourself the ability to stand up for yourself. What does that make you? You tell me. How does that make you feel? Or did you convince yourself that you don't have it in you to do that? You're going to literally live your whole life like a punk and not stand up for yourself and not prioritize yourself and continue to put yourself in turmoil? Continue to abuse yourself? Because at this point, it's self-abuse. At this point, it's self-abuse. And I'm going to get into that in a whole nother video. That's a whole nother video. When you decide to turn your pain into a kink, I will be getting into that. But that's not for today. Today is about you owning your voice, and you knowing that you can confront your perpetrator in the exact way that you want to, because they never wanted you to have a voice. And that baggage that you've been carrying around, that's not yours. You got so used to carrying it that you don't even realize you're carrying it anymore. You got an extra 20 pounds on your back that you don't even realize is there no more. At first it was heavy, but you've been carrying it for so long now, it's not even heavy no more. It's so not heavy no more. You've gotten so used to it that to take it off your back, you're fighting yourself against it. All you got to do is take it off. Take the monkey off. Take the baggage off. Return it to sender. But you're fighting yourself to take off the baggage. Literally abusing yourself at this point. Someone gave you baggage that you never had any business holding. Any business. And naturally you held it. You didn't want to dismantle your family. You didn't want to be the burden. Or maybe you spoke up for yourself, but nobody believed you. Again, every situation is very nuanced and very unique. But there is a way that you can stand up for yourself and confront your abuser without burning the house down. And if you want to burn the house down, then so be it. As long as it is not with malicious intent. I'm hosting a workshop. I don't really want to call it a workshop, but I'm hosting a workshop. And it's a Victory's Voice workshop. And it's a workshop where you'll be able to find your voice. The voice that your perpetrator never wanted you to have. The voice that your perpetrator tried to rob from you. Because now it's time to return that baggage back to sender and to let it go. And to live a life free of that burden, above that burden. There is a way to live when you master your emotions that you don't have to feel the remnants of abuse anymore. You don't. You don't have to live a life where you're literally carrying the remnants, the residue, the leftover of abuse. It's seeping into all areas in your life. Your relationships, your intimacy, your ability to be the mother that you're supposed to be. It's literally robbing you of your dreams. No more. No more. So I'm hosting a workshop, but it's only for 4 women. It's a very intimate space, very intimate. I'm only doing 4 seats for 4 women who are ready to claim their voice and return that baggage back to sender and finally confront their abusers on their terms. So if that is something that interests you and you are ready and you know that this is your last holiday season, being a hippo and going against yourself and disobeying yourself, then do register for the event. I'll be hosting it on January 9th. Originally, I wanted to host it before the new year, but I can't do that. I will be traveling. And as intimate and as important as this workshop is to me, the place that I'm going, my Wi-Fi will not be the way it's supposed to be. So I'm not even going to play them games with you. I'm not even going to test it out. There is no way that we can't have crystal. We need crystal Wi-Fi for this. So I'll be back. And I'll be back in time for January 9th, just in time for the workshop. And I look forward to supporting you, to scaffolding you, so you can do this for yourself. It is something that you should do for yourself, reclaiming your voice, reclaiming your power, and freeing yourself of a burden that you should have never been carrying in the first place, so that you can take the authority and be the authoritative voice in your own life. It's time. It's time for you to speak up for yourself. It's time for you to speak up for your past self. It's time for you to speak up for your younger self. And it's never too late. You don't have to live with this. You don't have to die with it. Your perpetrator may be dead. If that is the case, if there are some ways that we can still do it. If that is the case, if you still need to get it off your chest, if you still need to return that baggage back to sender, it can still be done. Again, trust and know yourself well enough to know that you're not doing it with malice. As long as your intention is not, is malice full of word? Sure. As long as you know that you are not doing it with malice intent, everything will be just fine. It was never your burden to carry. It is not your burden to take to your grave. You're not going to burn the house down. You're not going to dismantle anybody's family. Nobody's going to be disappointed in you. Again, every situation is very unique. And we will tailor this confrontation so that it suits your needs, just the way that you need it to be. As long as it awakens you to find your voice and to finally stand up for yourself, because you deserve it. Again, this will be for 4 women only. It is a very intimate space, and the link will be in the description. Go ahead and sign up for it. January 9th. Victory's Voice.